Alright, today's episode is going to be on the Coinage Act of 1865. And as you'll see in front of you, there is a bunch of different versions of silver. This is just for example, bullion-related stuff. But the ones in this video that this would really focus on would be the Kennedy and the Roosevelt. And I didn't put one out here, but the Washington quarter would have been what they were mostly about. So with the Coinage Act of 1865, it was, first off, it was enacted on July 23rd of 1865. And basically, I'll go into more detail, but just simply remove silver out of coins. And also reduction of silver because of the Kennedy. But that was the idea, was by the time you hit 1970, the silver is going to be gone. What it did was it eliminated silver from the circulating dimes and quarters, and it diminished the silver in the half dollar from 90% to 40%. And it was a response to coinage shortage because the prices of silver were going up, people were hoarding them, and they needed to find a way to really kind of get around it. And it was, in a sense, it was devaluing the dollar too, because, I mean, this was 10 cents worth of silver. Now all of a sudden this is like, 50 cents worth of silver. Kind of, then why would you use it for 10 cents if you could use the silver for 50? That was part of the purpose. Now, there is a little list here that I have that will also be intriguing to this act, which you would like to know, is in addition to the removing silver, which is what the act is really known for, there was also a few other kind of guidelines that involved it that had to be followed. And I got some of them here that I'll give to you. First off, it allowed the Secretary of the Treasury to continue to strike 90% silver coins for up to 5 years until the Secretary determined that there was an adequate supply of clad coins. This authority was used through 1966. The only problem with that is that if you did this through 1966, they still had 1964 as a date. So it kind of was an odd thing because you'd be getting coins that were made in 1966 that had 1964 as a date, which is kind of weird. It also forbade the minting of silver dollars for 5 years, so they couldn't make anything in any silver dollars for 5 years, and it wouldn't actually be until 7 years later when they would make the silver Eisenhowers, so that was okay. Another one was it made all coins and currency of the United States, including certain bank issues, a legal tender. And the interesting part to this is it has been taken to reverse the 1876 demonetization of the trade dollar. So that means that any coin, like if you go to the grocery store and give them this 40% half dollar, can use it for 50 cents. But it's worth more intrinsically and sometimes numismatically. But you could use anything. You could bring a flying eagle cent to the store and it's still got the 1 cent face value, but it wouldn't be smart to use it. But it was interesting that they put that into this act. And also it gave the Secretary broad discretion to enter into contracts to assure the adequate supply of clad coinage without regard to public procurement laws. So he could basically, in a sense, you could bend the rules to get them out there. And it also established a joint commission to make recommendations regarding coins and currency. So it tried to help for future things as well. But that's the Coinage Act of 1965. The reason why I put that in the series here, even though it's much later than the other ones, is just because when we talked about the Knowledge is Money series, we did talk about Kennedy half dollars, Washington quarters, Roosevelt dimes, and there was that period that they switched over, so I thought it would be important to put that into one of these videos. But that's all I have for this one. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.